Okay, welcome, Hanneke. Hanneke comes from the Netherlands, and so am I. So sometimes we're going to have a little bit of difficulty maybe with the language like you're hearing right now, but we're doing our best. And Hanneke, you are here to talk about your 59, and you have it in your Saturn, the line 1, and you have it in your Mercury, line 2. So that gives another energy than when it's in your Earth or any other planet. And but before we go into that, I would first like to get to know you a little bit better. So if you could just share a little bit about yourself, who's Hanneke?
Yes. All right. My name is Hanneke and I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 43 years old and I'm a pure generator. My profile is 5-1 and I have an emotional authority. And I work as a nurse in a psychiatric hospital. So I'm the section of the hospital where I work in. It's like really first aid. So it's when people are in crisis and get really, really confused, they get hospitalized. And it's very dynamic and can be sometimes like really heavy. But that's what I do. I work there as a nurse in that kind of environment. My son is in the 12th house, and as well, both of these keys in the 59 are in the 12th house. So that actually like being imprisoned or being in the psychiatric hospital does really like suits that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I did not know that because I'm not into the astrology that much. So now you bring in the houses. I go like, okay, something new to go into.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not really into astrology that much as well, but since I also started working with Ashley and Bella and Simone, I'm getting more into it. So I'm starting to also contemplate the houses and the signs and everything. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I do as a job, and then in my free time, well, I'm single, so I'm single for like 1.5 years now, and I did have several relationships in my life, but for now I'm okay. I'm being single, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah. For now, for the introduction, more questions.
Yes, thank you so much. I was asking that because I do know a little bit about you. So I knew that you worked in the hospital, and I somehow feel the 59 and your 6 because you have the whole channel of connecting. I feel that alive in your work, but we're going to get to that maybe a little bit later. You know, the Playmate, the 59, the seed energy, intimacy, spirals of life. And in the Gene Key, it's dishonesty, intimacy, transparency. And when I'm hearing you talk even about your work and then even hearing about you being single right now, I'm curious on both, but mostly with your work. And I don't know why, but it's something that just comes to me like, how does the 59 show up in your work life?
Inside a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like the 59 is really like the life force energy. It's a sexual energy and bonding, about mating. Well, even with the 6, and it's about mating, but it's this, for me, it's this life force energy. So it is everywhere. And so it's also inside of the psychiatric hospital where I work. And how it really comes in for me is with setting boundaries. So setting boundaries and that is like really like sensing when people feel like this sexuality that they actually put out towards me.
Yeah,
I can sense that. So I really like I'm sensing this field of unity even, yeah, because this is me and that is you. But in between us, there's this field of consciousness. And I really feel that this relates a lot with the 59th Gene Key. It's the life force that just in between us and weaves everything. So yeah, in my work, we have a lot of people that are confused and they enter the hospital, and when they see me, they're like, oh yes, now I'm going to get a relationship with the nurse, or I'm going to be sexually involved with the nurse. And for me, it's I feel that coming, yeah. So I feel in my body, I feel it in my skin, I feel it in my nerve system when somebody is actually pointing this kind of energy towards me, or this kind of desire. I also believe that because I have it in my line too, and Mercury, I have this in my line too, that also people like really can penetrate me or just look into my aura and see that there is this sexual life force energy. And so it gets projected on me a lot. And for me, that makes that I need to put boundaries a lot, like really physically stop people that want to enter my zone and want to get intimate. And it's not always it's not always right or wrong. It comes with very much nuances. So sometimes I also feel like a pull with somebody, and then you can actually enter in a really creative process. You can work together, and that is also the 59, like the creativity that you can actually put your hands together and make something, or even prepare a soup, but also like have a really fertile conversation, or talk about dreams, or anything. You can just really like relate and bond. So with some people, I really need to say, no, stop, not now, not this way. And then with other people, I can say like, okay, come in, and we sit down and we can see how it can actually play, how we can play together. Yeah. And you understand that like with playing in my work, I need to be like really careful. But it is as if I have this like natural sensitivity, and I feel that with who I can create this intimate and creativity, or creative, create things, and with who I can't. So and then as well, I sense, I feel that when people projecting or like sending sexual energy to me, I can like sense also for the tribe, yeah, because we have other women that are inside the hospital as well, and we have a lot of students, and I have a lot of colleagues and a lot of women walking around there and working, and so you can also like really sense like, okay, yeah, I sense what is my border, but also like how are you like gonna interact with other girls' borders. And you understand? You following me?
Yeah. Do you mean like you're even sensing the field for others? So if you see some, let me just say, a man penetrate the aura of one of your female colleagues, and you feel, you sense that it's not appropriate, you're gonna warn, or you're gonna be a guardian for that, you're gonna do something about that. Is that what you mean? I think.
Yes, and yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Thank you. and then what I do is that I really try like to get people really sense for themselves if incoming energy makes them feel uncomfortable, if they are putting up their own boundaries, are they speaking their truth? Because like with this sexual energy, it's actually really hard, like setting your boundaries. And I think that in society, it's still like, I mean, you look at the whole #MeToo movements, there's still a lot of taboo, or it's still like really like unseen and hidden energies that you like have to confront. And so I really try to like make that from the unconscious, get that into the conscious of the people I work with or other clients, and really make them feel like inside their body, how does this person go over your boundaries, and where is your boundary, and do you set your boundary only for yourself, or do you also set your boundary for the other person? And that is really difficult, because when you actually feel sexual energy penetrating you, it's really weird to say when a guy is on the other end of the room, say, stop it there. Yeah, stop it there. Because I sense your sexual energy is penetrating. Well, that is not really something that you like say, but it's something you can sense. And where are you going to speak up? Where? And I think like this honesty, for me with the 59 has a lot to do, like because I already feel it when that guy is still over there, that he is putting focus on me. And to not already put my boundary is like being a little bit dishonest to myself. But it's really sneaky. Like, where is it socially accepted to actually put up that boundary? And where is it accepted for myself? Because I think it's difficult to, for me, it was difficult in my life to actually stop sexual energy from coming in and putting up your boundaries. Yeah.
What comes up for me is even the why you maybe want to stop the penetration, because you don't know the intention. Maybe the intention of the other person is just they like you for something. Maybe it's not even sexual, but they want to have a real intimate conversation with you because they somehow sense you are open to talk about something they can't talk about with just anybody.
Oh, that's true, and there is a lot of different nuances, but sometimes you feel it has to stop, and this is pure sacral energy,
Nice.
So it's like chemical, and it's not like. But well, I have I have this key also in my Mercury, so I think about it a lot. But first of all, it's really like primal energy that you feel in your sacral, and it's a chemical reaction that says yes or no.
True.
Yes, I want with this person, or no, I don't. And it's like your body is screaming, and for me, it's not like necessarily that then is the end of the contact or maybe the possibility of intimacy, but I am the gatekeeper. I am the gatekeeper of this energy, what actually enters my body, my physical. And for me, my physical, it doesn't stop here. It's bigger. Yeah.
It's the energetic body for you.
It is the energetic body. Yeah. And I do think that for me it's a lot of boundaries, because it is in my Saturn as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
it's discipline and limitations, and Saturn is the judge. So to guide us into the true direction, it's a very strong yin energy, and it will punish if needed. I'm hearing you say that in order to ensure progress. So, yeah. And then the line one, right? It's a primitive strike, it says in human design. And I'm hearing you say that like, boom, here is the boundary. You can't go any further. I'm the gatekeeper.
Yeah, and it is all about bond making. So it's like really intimate. So that sometimes it's just not really appropriate or something. But as well, it's like, it goes in between everywhere, it's not necessarily that I can't, like, how you say it, play with the 59 in my work, but there I have different limitations and boundaries than I have in my
What I feel is very strong in you is that very particular sense of when you're just walking and just people enter your aura, you already know, like, yeah, you're okay for me. You're not okay for me. You are okay for me. You are not okay for me. Like guiding you on your path, who to connect with and who to maybe become intimate with on all sorts of levels, because you can be intimate on the physical, on the energetic level, in a conversation, in a play, creating together whatever you want to create on your work, in your personal life. You know, I know you are very creative with arts. So like who you're going to create some art with maybe, or who you're going to work together to get your art out there. You know, it's somehow, my husband has a 59.6 as well. And it's like, he says, I've got this little antenna that goes like, beep, yes, that one. Beep, okay, let's connect to that one. How does it sound to you? I think you feel kind of the same. That you sense
it is really like the field that I'm talking about, that you actually, I sometimes sense just, I sense it coming in indeed, and then it goes really quickly. Yes or no.
Right.
Yes, no. Yeah. And sometimes like in my job, I need to work with a no person. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay. But I do try like to work with people I feel that I can get really creative around. But it's true, I have this like antenna. I have an antenna for this energy, and other way around. Like apparently I'm radiating this because this is I have it in 2 planets, but also it is my ascendant. So I have the 59.3 ascendant. So it is my rising. So it's also what people are going to see when they and what I want to be seen as, I guess. It works 2 ways. Yeah, it's an antenna for me, but also I get a lot of it. Towards me.
I get that. I recognize that. I can relate because of my husband, and I remember now a moment when I witnessed it happening, like when it went 2 ways. It was on a wedding, and there were some people dancing and some women dancing on the floor, and I was standing with my husband at a table. And then at one moment I saw this woman, and she wasn't even looking at my husband, but she was dancing. And there was this kind of aura around her. And I'm somehow have a sense for that aura as well. Maybe that's why I fell for my husband, but okay. So I was sensing her aura and was like, okay, this is, I don't know. I get this sense. I always know like, okay, this woman is not okay or is okay. And then she was just dancing and somehow just glancing, not really looking again at my husband. But then my sense pulled me towards my husband, and I saw my husband being focused on that woman. I was like, okay, what's going on? And then they locked. And I just observed, because I'm not jealous. I'm not afraid, because I just know about this energy. So that's why I'm so happy that I know about this energy and how the 59 and the 59.6 work. So it was so wonderful to see it in action, how these two pulled together, and it was like this electricity going on in these few meters. They were a part of each other. And then of course it hit me like, okay, I don't like this. So I woke him up like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, oh yeah, he was becoming conscious of it. And I was just laughing. I said, wow, I just suddenly saw how this energy field works, how it attracts from both sides, and then both give their consent of intertwining. I'm seeing this intertwining of the energies when somebody, like you said, you radiate it out, right? And there is got to be a receiver. So he was a receiver, and they both were sending out and being received somehow. And then these energies kind of merged, like this energy says it does. And there's nothing you can do about it. It just happened. He was like, I didn't know what was going on. And I said, I could see that you did not know what was going on. It was really energetically. It was, it's an amazing energy, but you have to be conscious if you don't want to get misconfused in any kind of relationship, right?
Yes, it is. And for me as well, I've been single a lot of my life. And I am like this kind of woman as well, that comes and starts talking with your man, or other way around, and then other women just start to pull their guy away, like no. So I've looked at like a serious, like a danger, a life force, sexual breathing danger. And I didn't understand that for a really long time, because I never really looked at myself like that. Yeah, like, oh, I'm this sexuality radiating a human being. I really grew into like that consciousness. But I had it a lot that people got like jealous, or afraid with just me entering the room. And then with all the guys, I think I remember I was 14 years old, and then I got my first period. So your hormones kick in and your body starts to transform. And I used to have glasses, and then my glasses went off and I just became a woman. And my story is really like that of the ugly young duck that becomes a swan or something. But I didn't see it. But like from everywhere, from my 14 year until just now still, there's always like people really like feeling attractive. And I don't want to sound arrogant,
No,
but I recognize it. I recognize that. Yeah.
well, you are a beautiful woman, but I do know about the 59 as well, that the attraction either way is almost never about the looks even. No. It really is about the energy, the life force that people are attracted to, because it's also about procreating. And when we talk about that, it's the genetics that want to procreate. So some people are picking up that energy, like these genes are coming like, oh, when we're going to play, we're going to create something new. It's something like that. They're talking to each other, you know, on an energetic level. And again, I just feel this is a kind of an amazing energy. And I know it has been sexualized a lot, and I know that we're trying to see it from different perspective, but in the core, in the essence, I feel it is that it's genetics wanting to co-create and merge to create something even bigger and more beautiful.
Yes,
you know, the sum of its parts sort of somehow comes up.
Yeah, exactly. So the life force is the sexuality, that it is the same mechanism,
right.
Same energy. So yeah.
So when you just shared with us before, in your work, it's sometimes hard to even work with people where you feel like this energetic boundary, like I don't want to engage with you, I don't want to even communicate maybe with you, but you have to because it's your work. Could you share how you set your boundaries, but they have to be kind of flexible because you do have to work with that person? How does it feel? How does that work? How do you do that?
Well, I have to be open about what I feel. I have to be like, in my team, I need to be really open with what I feel. So if a certain person like gives me the feeling like, oh, he wants too much of me, or he asks for a certain kind of connection that I can't deliver, and it makes me feel irritated, it makes me feel annoyed, then I just put that in the open, and I ask for if I can like guide that day another person. So we get to pick a little bit. So I need to be open, and then as well with my colleagues, so I can actually choose who I'm gonna create with and who not. So we most of the times we have like 4 or 5 people that I'm working with on a day, and that means that are like 17 other persons that I see and I also interact with, but not like in a
in an intimate way, right?
Yes, yeah. Okay. So and then sometimes as well, you know, you still meet people, and also in that contact, if I really feel a no, if I really feel a deep no, I need to communicate. So there's also the being open, the being speaking about how I feel it, and that sometimes just comes down to like, please, could you like step away from me a little bit, because I feel really uncomfortable if you enter my zone like this, how you do, and then I can put up a mirror what I see and how it reflects in me, how I So it does take some like honesty to actually put up that boundary, but also you have to stay in communication with another person. Yeah, you can't just say like, talk to them.
No,
because that's not how it goes. Yeah, you need to like inform someone as well. Like, okay, this is how you make me feel, and that is like intimate on a level as well. And what my experience is that sometimes I need to stop a person and speak up my boundaries for later on they can actually come back into intimacy with me again to just discuss that and go deeper. And then I can explain my boundaries, or another person can actually also like reflect on their attitude or their energy or the way they move. Yeah.
Do you feel it has something to do with trust, that there is something about that energy of the other person that you don't trust, that you put up this boundary, but yet you're still kind of, because you are transparent in communicating, you are opening up this little door, and when they show that they can be trusted for that part, you can let them in step by step, and then maybe even later have a connection or have more intimacy than you first set out, that felt fine for you, if you know what I mean.
I think as well it is about trust, but it's also about just really like feeling safe. Like, okay, because when life force energy becomes too upwards, or how you say it, like too penetrating, well, I mean, on the other end in that spectrum is actually the rape. So you want to be safe first. You want to. So I think so. Yeah, there's trust. Trust.
To feel safe, you have to trust someone. At least that's how it feels for me. Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with trust. Yeah.
So what I'm sensing is that in order to create intimacy through intimacy, I kind of feel it has to, it goes from the city to the gift. It goes from, by being transparent, you can create the intimacy. And by setting these boundaries, you can learn to trust and then create the intimacy. So I feel like this hamburger between, the constriction of setting the boundaries and then having the transparency and coming into the middle. I'm kind of seeing now the merging even of these three frequencies, that it's kind of a pathway you go through with some people. Some people, you immediately have it. You feel like, yeah, I'm open because I feel I can trust you. My sacral says, yes, you are fine. I wanna procreate, but create with you in some sort of way. But with some people, it's like this, this, but friction. Yeah, and that's the 6.
Wow. That's where the 6 comes in.
Yes, that's where the 6 comes in. Okay, wow. How do you feel that this 59-6 then co-creates together for you in your life?
Yeah. Well, the 59 is really like sacral energy, and then the 6 is the emotional. So for me, it's the only emotional gate that I have definition in. So my emotional is defined by the 6 and only the 6. So for me, this is really like a team that is in all of my life. So how they relate, the 6 is really about, like, for me, conflict and peace. So indeed feeling friction, but that's more in the long term, like in the wave. So how them two come together is, for me, it's like, I think the 59 will say like, okay, you can be really creative or sexually or with this person, and then the 6 goes like, oh, wait a minute, because I also know that deep inside I want more than just like intimacy on this moment.
Right.
I want to, and then I mean it about it in a sexual order. So I want to be intimate, but I really there needs to be something like really fruitful on the long term. So so that's how the 6 kicks in. And I think if I look back at my relationships, that I didn't always like give the 6 enough space, enough time, so that I enter relationships too early, because when you get like sexually involved, you start like bonding with somebody, even if it's really not worth to bond with somebody, you start doing it if you get sexually.
Yeah, the genetics go like, yeah, let's do this. But then your wave goes like, oh, wait a minute, I wasn't ready. My emotions weren't ready. Something like that. Yeah.
And really, like, the energetics start to get intertwined, and then the cycle just goes really into that. But the feelings, they don't always agree, and that's what my authority is. And so then in the long run, you really start to feel like conflicted within myself. If I step in a relationship too early with somebody who's like really attractive, I feel this really strong pull, but but in the long run, it is not lasting. So
Well, now we're into the intimate relationships, and you already shared a little bit about that. You had some long-term relationships. You're single now for 1.5 years. Do you feel okay to share a little bit of your experience within relationships? Because I do feel that is a very important topic when talking about the 59, and especially the 59-6.
It is, because it's what it's all about, to bond, to really intimately create something with another person. So that is completely the playfield of relationships. So I have then the 59 in my Mercury. So I contemplate a lot about relationships, and think about it and dream about it, and it was never different. When I was younger, I always was dreaming about relationships, and then not like just a relationship, but the really like the 1 + 1 is 3 relationship.
So you had a kind of expectations on how a relationship would look like for you. You had this kind of dream how a relationship should be.
And not really like also a dream, but also because I'm really experiencing like this feel of unity. That is like one of my first childhood memories, that I experience a feel of unity, so that everything is like connected and intertwined together. And so from that is really like a deeper sensing of things. So and as well, like in the 12th. So and as well, like in the 12th, I have that in the 12th house. There, my sun is in the 12th house, the Mercury, and both the Saturn in my 12th house. So that's really like going really deep into that bonding. It's where it brings in karmic relationships as well, but also like endings. And
and you're a left angle too. So a left angle is also all about karmic relationships. So now you're bringing it together, like these karmic relationships in your incarnation cross, and then I don't know anything about the 12th house by head, so I'm glad you brought that in, and maybe you can explain a little bit about it to the people. And you take it over. I lost it.
I put down some words about the 12th house. It's about the future, really mystical, cosmic awareness, isolation, the breath of faith, an inner world of psyche, and hidden enemies. So that's the 12th house, and that are like themes that really played out in my relationships, or even with my view on, because it is in my Mercury as well, in the 12th house. So how I think about relationship or how I experience them is really like on a cosmic level. And then you really like also come, how you say it? It's topics that really interested me a lot was like twin flames, soulmates. That like sometimes you meet people and it's also like, and it's not even with lovers, just it's not just with lovers.
You just know them somehow. You just know, like, I know you. I don't know you, but I know you. Like on this soul level. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Exactly, on a soul level. So in that way, I also always interpreted my relationship like there needs to be a really like cosmic soul level connection for me to really can be so that I can get really intimate with somebody, and that is not necessarily the story that the 59 says. It is like in the now. Really feeling attracted, but the 6 is helping me there a little bit.
So I feel like there's a little friction in there with your 12th house and then the 59 wanting to just go, and your 12th house is saying, hey, be discerning. Is this really a twin flame or a soul connection that you want to be intimate with? Yes,
because when you enter a relationship that is actually not healthy, I experienced some relationships that were really not healthy for me, and it takes a lot of time to actually like disengage from it.
Right.
So
when you're intertwined, it's not easy to get loose again, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So,
could you share about how you entered, like for example, you take in your head one example of one of the relationships that you did not enter correctly, and what did not work, and when you noticed it that it wasn't right for you, and how were you able to disengage, if that's possible?
Well, I just think about my last relationship that I had. I do also have to mention that I have the 44 a few times in my chart. So sometimes people actually enter my life for a reason, and I do like, for me as well, the relationship that I'm going to talk about now. It feels like, okay, I jumped in too quickly. So in the end, we met a lot of conflict. But if I look back now, I think that my 44 is my purpose as well. I had a lot to do with that. So it made up a really good like learning curve, like a school for me. Yeah. So
that had
it's not necessarily wrong, but if I reflect on it, then I think that like the pure attraction just took overhand in the beginning. So it was too, I don't know, the sexual attraction was so strong that it was like almost not possible to go in there. And for me, it's like a joke I make a lot of times, like, if I don't bring my break into like the bedroom, you know, it is happening. It is happening. So, but I think we just got too intimate too quickly, and then we just like met conflict. Yeah, we did actually met conflict in the relationship, and it was about dishonesty, and for me it was like not being able to get like really intimate on a level that for me as well is very satisfying, on a soul level.
Right. So it stayed in kind of the sexual bonding, but not the soul connection you were mostly looking for. Right.
That I know that I really like, I need to be real patient to get to know somebody. To know that you can actually form that kind of a bond with someone. And then if you enter in a relationship too quickly and then trying to navigate to that soul connection, that is just really not the way. That is just really not the way. So I found myself in conflict and indeed shame and blaming, and I believe as well that is part of the reactive nature. It is that you get like really afraid or no angry and feel rejected.
Yeah, the repressive nature is excluded.
Yeah.
You unconsciously exclude yourself out of a deep-seated fear of losing control.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the first line. And the reactive is intrusive. You try to push yourself in the door physically and emotionally, but I'm not hearing you do that.
Well, I did that. I mentioned.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I did that. Like at one point, just like really getting in there, like trying to make things different that are not that are just not. So yeah, and also feeling excluded. So that I thought, okay, I'm gonna pack my suitcase and I'm out of here. Yeah, like you exclude yourself. It's because you can't really find the intimacy in between, and yeah, that is just killing. And then it takes some time for me to completely be honest and think like, okay, this is just completely not healthy, and I am trying to like operate inside the relationship, but it is just not there. And it takes some courage and honesty to actually admit that to yourself. Yeah.
That came up for me. Is it difficult to be honest with yourself? My experience is that the most difficulty is not even in the honesty towards the other, but it's this honesty of being honest with yourself, with the things that you tell yourself about thoughts, about happenings, about feelings. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's true, because for me, my Mercury in the 59, so I'm thinking a lot like, oh, he could be my soulmate, you know? Oh, but the relationship, in order to be perfect, so I just, in my mind, I go on and then I forget to really like sense what is in my body, and my body will always speak my truth. But yeah, there's something. I have a split as well. I'm a split definition.
Yeah, I saw.
So it's my head and my throat connected together, and then a lot of definition like in my body. But there's this split, and there I find the dishonesty that I sometimes don't really like honor what I'm really feeling inside my body, because my body really knows the truth. Yeah, it does. It knows the truth, but my intellect really wants to see other things. So so that's how that sometimes how you get dishonest, because you really not completely aware just yet that you're feeling otherwise, and then maybe you're sensing it like, okay, I'm not feeling in the right way about this person. Whew. And then you still need to communicate, but before you actually are able to admit that to yourself, it takes it takes a while. Yeah, and it's not that I always have that transparency with myself. No, not yet.
Is that also maybe because what I do also sense with the 59 and the 59-6 from my own experience is that there comes a lot of judgment to the self. So when you're thinking about things and you're having thoughts and you're having ideas, or you're having fantasies and everything else that goes on around here, is that you judge yourself. And that's why you're not being honest to yourself, because you don't want to admit, because you're still judging it. You're judging your thoughts, you're judging your fantasies and your expectations and everything. For you?
That also, yes, that, and as well maybe the fear of like that my 31 comes in, like what are people gonna say? Like, oh no, am I again? Did I drive again in the how you say it, and doodloop in the weg?
Dead end street.
Did I? Oh no, you know, what are other people gonna say? And there I can find the dishonesty as well. So being afraid to actually like. I have to pull back, or I have to pull out, or listen to your body and then do things completely different. So, and yes, there's what you say as well, judgment of the self, like, oh no, not again. Yeah, not again. Yeah. Why? Yeah, why me? No, not, yeah, maybe that as well. So why me? Yeah, that is possible as well, that it's there, like feeling the little victim of my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, well. Funny that you brought that up, because I do see the little victimization because when you're not speaking your truth, when you're not being honest with yourself and therefore cannot be honest with the other, what comes in is again the why me, but the why me is well, that's at least what I say to my husband, is because you're not communicating what's going on here or here. And that's why you're going to say it's their fault, or it's what they do, or da, da, da. But I say, because I'm observing as a 4/6, I say to him, like, but I see you communicating something different than you are sharing with me. And therefore you become the victim, because they don't know what you want or what you expect or what you feel or whatever.
Yes. Exactly, yeah. And I also say to the students that I as well coach, like, if you you need to, like, give your truth. Yeah, the other people deserve your truth, yeah. Because if not, they can't like change their behavior, and you're just gonna end up and feeling. Mad or angry, that person did this or that, or he went over my boundaries. But if you don't dare to give them your truth, you put yourself there in the victim seat. You do, yeah, because then you actually you give other ones permission to step over your boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I am still curious how you were able to end this relationship. You know, you felt like, okay, I now saw that I did wrong, wrong in a way that you entered maybe too quickly on the sexual level. And when you mentioned that, I felt like, okay, I feel what would work for you is like this tantric relationship, where you first start just sitting with each other at a fireplace, talking to each other, just looking in each other's eyes, and do that for at least 3 months before you engage real physical sexuality. Because I feel, or I sense, and what I'm you know, getting in is when I'm seeing you do this, you start to communicate these really intimate thoughts and feelings without there already being this bond on a physical level. And that way you get this connection first, like this third eye connection somehow comes through. And okay, so you did not enter this relationship this way, maybe for the next relationship. But then when you got this moment that it was only, well, it wasn't satisfying for you. So you were going like, okay, now it's time to go separate again. How were you able to be honest and transparent about that to the other person? And how are you now today? Are you still friends, or?
No. No, we are not friends. No, well, I'm okay with him now, but we are not in contact. No, I decided to not wanting to have contact, and how it ended, actually, and that is maybe also something that really like fits in the 12th house. So it's like it's a change of fate. My cat died, and my cat was my really like very intimate, close friend, and I just looked at my ex and I thought, like, this sorrow I'm never going to get through if I stay with you. So, and that was just like, can still sense it. Yeah. So that was, wait, when
it's okay, take your time.
I really love that cat. I really had a very intimate connection with that cat. That was definitely also the 59th and the 6th channel. But the cat died, and that was like this happening. So it happened, boom. And then I just got this energy like, okay, I need to get myself out of this situation because this feels so intense. I'm never gonna get this like with him on my side because he's like keeping me down instead of lifting me up. So I need to be alone. I need to be isolated again. And there again is the 12th house, yeah?
Right.
So I can really like experience on a universal level, but then when it comes to it, I need to go home and be alone, and so everything like can come in. So actually just I ended up walking up and I said, I'm gonna leave you. And we had conversations. I mentioned already like I don't feel happy. I don't feel like that we're really like connecting. And I also told him about how I see like really connecting with somebody on a deeper level. Like the 1 + 1 is 3, that you what you just described as a tantric relationship. That is what I'm really longing for. So I've been discussing that with him. But then in the end, I just, because of the cat died, it went, okay.
It's like a messenger. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like,
would it made a difference if he was able to be there for you when your cat died, that you could really share your emotions and feelings with him? Because that's what I'm sensing.
Yeah, definitely. But I knew because the cat was sick in the process before, and just like I already sensed on the whole level, on different levels, that he's like that we were not like really being very intimate. I knew that it was not right. So then again, taking the step into being really completely honest to yourself, yeah, you need to go on by yourself. So that means end of this relationship. So yeah. So and he was like, oh, what?
You didn't see it coming? No.
He said no, but well, I thought like, how is that possible? But yeah, we were so on a different level that it was possible. For sure, my cat knew. You understand? Yeah. No. So and then afterwards, just like I really got myself out of the situation, and no, I was also really okay with me going on in my life, and he just stepped in the next relationship like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What was a confirmation as well.
Right.
Again.
Right. Yeah, because when you really have like this, because I know the truth of the 59-6 personally, you know, I shared in the beginning before the recording that we went through a lot as a couple with the 59-6. So I know what the other end can be when we fully integrate this 59 and the 59-6 in your relationship. It's like nothing can come between you anymore. No woman, no man, no situation, no person, nothing. You know, you're always going to be connected, even though life should choose we should not be together anymore. We will always be connected. Always.
Yes. Yeah. And that, exactly that, I didn't have with my ex.
Right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Is like when you can go from like this relationship to the next relationship, hey, then you were not that connected, because you can't, if you have this relationship that you are wishing for and looking for, well, not looking for, but you know, would love to see in your life, then you could not just jump into another relationship, right? Wow.
And for me, it was like in this relationship, in the end of it, I really didn't feel like happy, because I was not really being completely honest with myself. And then, so then I started to do some research, and I met the gene keys. And actually, by reading the 44 gene key, I thought like, oh, this like bonds are made and broken. Like some people enter your life and they like leave your life at the time when it's right. That also really like helped me in the process. So for me, actually, maybe as well, because of the gene keys, made my outrance that
or because of your relationship, you met the gene keys.
Yeah, it's completely intertwined. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It moves all directions. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, also, I just see your left angle again. All relationships have a meaning for you. And then you sharing about your 44 and the 59, it is all about, in your life, it is all about these interactions and communications and relationship and relating to, and who
Yes.
not to. But I feel there's no wrong or right with you, because I feel with you, talking with you, I feel like you know deep inside that every kind of relationship or relating has a meaning in the end, but it's always afterwards that you get to see, oh, why it happened and what you learned from it.
It
or
is
grown
true.
from. Right.
Something mirrors you. Like, and me having this dysfunctional relationship with my ex, that really like mirrored me as well. So, and I see everything. So there is no right or wrong.
Right.
It's just all the process of learning and becoming more aware of what you are doing. Yeah.
Right, right. When you look towards the future now, you feel happy being single, but of course the 59 is still looking for that really, you know.
Always. Always. No, honestly, it's you can't really put it off. So you're always like looking around and sensing what's coming in. It's just always happening. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm also okay, because the last 1.5 years I really needed time to like really like ground in myself and become get back in my body and experience. Yeah. So, and I know when I'm processing like that, there's no room for anyone else. Now I'm getting out of there and I'm starting to, oh, okay. So what's next? Yes. Yeah.
I love that, because I feel there is such a beauty in that reflection modus that you take for yourself. Also, you being a 5-1 and getting to retreat, and then also having the line 1 in your 59 and reflecting back. I feel that's the only way to become more mature and become closer to what you're actually looking for. Mm-hmm. I've kind of sensed with you now that you're more ready than ever for like this new relationship. Because I'm somehow sensing it. I don't know if it's true, but I'm sensing that right now with you. Like this, you became more intimate with yourself as well. And because of that, you're setting out this whole different frequency. So you're going to attract different people as well. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I really do think so. And in the 59, I have the first line, the second line, and the third one. So
the third one. Yeah, I forgot that one.
It's all really personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what you reflect, what you attract. I do see that. Yeah.
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 You already sense it now when you go out and do your little flirting, because the 59-6 does that. Do you also feel already that you're kind of attracting different kind of men?
Yeah, I do actually. I did actually. I had a date last week and was with a complete different man. Yeah, complete different kind of man. Yeah. So that, but it's just I'm taking it easy and taking it slow and just sensing and still playing a little bit. Yeah.
And what is your sacral telling you now? I'm curious. When you think of the date and of that man.
It says no.
Oh,
yeah. It is a clear no. Yeah, yeah. But I'm like putting myself out there, yeah. And I tried like half a year ago. I also tried like to date a little bit, and then I was really like not entering the whole process. I was like, oh no. But now I feel as if I want to enter the process. So as I'm ready to start dating. Yeah. But
loving that. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that the sacral says maybe no, but then the deeper meaning of the 59 comes along, like, let's open up more softly to, hey, what is there? Let's some kind of mystery unraveling.
There is. Yeah, I think so. Like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still indeed a journey. Like, okay, what's next? And and I do carry my whole history, like where it didn't go well and how I got in relationships too soon. So yeah, I take all that. So
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how things will develop from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it maybe, from just my curiosity, is it maybe that you enter this date from maybe like more holistic approach, like you're not just listening to your 59, but you're listening like to all your senses in your body, including your mind, but not in a way that the mind is saying, I have to do it a different way? I'm kind of sensing that you're kind of holistically now entering this process of dating, and the first time, you know, maybe there gets a second time, or maybe this is just the beginning for the second one. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know, but I think so. Yeah, I think so that I am taking all, like, also the wanting to create a relationship that goes very deep on a lot of levels. I do. It's in the back of my mind. It's in the back of my. It is in my energy. I am more aware of like stepping in the process. Yeah, but then still, you know, it's like it is new again. It is still.
And I do see you smiling, so it must be good.
I like it. Yeah, but I am enjoying the process again. Right. So that is something already. That's why it starts. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
But I do know, like, I think that a good fitting relationship will show up when I am completely ready, and life will show me if I am, and maybe I am not, and maybe I am. I just, I need to have trust in life on that matter. So yeah.
And trust in yourself, because you're in the past has shown that it's giving you signs on where to go, where not to go, and maybe now being more integrated with the whole of your profile and everything is making like this super consciousness that knows, okay, this entering, it feels different than the other times, but not per definition wrong. It's just different, and then enjoying that process, and even going for a different outcome. That's kind of what I'm sensing, but I'm mostly relating to the fact that when you were talking about it, I just saw something shift in your energy and in your smile. So that's what I love most about seeing it, how you are going to approach this dating now towards how you did it differently in the past.
Yeah.
Because the smile is for me the biggest answer to if it's right or not.
It just I think I feel like really content with where I am now. Yeah. So that makes me smile the most. Yeah.
Good. I want to take a look at because of course I did some homework on your profile, and it says, like in the Gene Keys, says dilemma is trauma. And I know trauma is something, there's also a little bit of, just like sexuality, there is this thing about it that we don't want to talk about it. But you working in a psychiatric hospital, it's a difficult word, you know, you must know a lot about trauma from that perspective.
Yes.
And then you having the 59 and this openness of intimacy, I'm kind of sensing that because you have this gift, that people are maybe even more able to share their trauma with you. I don't feel the dilemma is always just personal. And like you said, you have a lot of, you do have a lot of personal lines, but I think personal lines can be such a benefit towards others as well. But that's just my perspective.
Yeah, but it's true. And I'm actually really happy that you mentioned this, because that is what covers a big part of my job as well, like sensing, even sensing sexual trauma in the field of people. And sometimes just had a few conversations with this guy, and then I entered him. I passed by, and then I got this like sexual trauma. There's trauma, and I do actually sense that with people. Nice. So from that you enter into conversations. Yeah, you can really like go deep in the matter. Yeah. So and people actually feel really trusted in opening up, and because you don't really like want to share that with everybody, but yeah, there can be get really intimate with people, and it's really something that I sense. I sense that just in the world around me, that when there's like sexual trauma, when there's, and it's a lot of times it comes as in their energy field as a blockage, and I start sensing it as like, I don't know, you can just feel when someone is blocked, and I don't know how. It's more or less in my nerve system or something.
Maybe you feel the blockage in their vital energy because you're kind of picking up other people's vital energy as well. I sense with the 59. So maybe because it is in that area as well, you know, with the genitals. So maybe you're sensing a blockage there in their aura.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
I do. I sense it in their aura, but how it exactly comes in, I don't know. No. You know, it's maybe also there again. I mentioned the 12th house, the things unseen. You know, like I have this. This thing that I can actually unravel the things that are still hidden or are still unseen, and I sense them, and I don't even know myself how I do that. I also have like when people are about to die, I also start sensing that in the field, and then I just get thoughts, or I get dreams even. So I don't know exactly how it works, but it's like it's out there, and it gets translated into a message that and then I can conversate with people about their traumas on sexual, and there is so much sexual trauma out there. I honestly think it's like here in the Netherlands, they always say like 1 out of 3 women were involved in their life with sexual trauma. And even in my job, you see that underneath psychosis or depressions there's on many occasions there is sexual abuse. There's a lot of incest and still going on. So
and it's still a topic that has this cloth over it. It's like it they don't want us to see. And then bringing in your 12th house, the unseen, I also sense that with these topics of the sexual trauma and the child abuse and not only women but also men and young men, and you sensing this, it's kind of like it lifts the veil. Your energy lifts the veil for that, so it can become transparent and in the air and get solved.
Yeah, that's beautiful said. Yeah, and solved, I don't know, but at least we can talk about it.
Right,
level, so that it from being really unaware, it becomes more aware. And
it can go from the dark to the light, is what I hear. And everything that comes from the dark that goes to the light, it's still present. It may be present, but it at least it has this. I can't even explain it sometimes. I think you know how that must feel when you get these senses and downloads and you can't find the words. But I'm kind of trying to say that, of course, it's not the things are being solved, but when you put it in the light, it has a place. It's acknowledged, and when it's acknowledged, you feel whole again.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And in my job, you see it like when it lies underneath, uncovered, or still covered.
Yeah.
But then when it comes out, you can actually indeed like because people get really depressed, and then they find out like, oh, it was maybe has to do with that that trauma, that experience that I have. So you do actually shift. There are shifts,
right?
Yeah, and that I feel as well as what my 6 brings in. I like enter somebody's energy field, and I also like stir up things with just being there. Yeah, like
you energetically trickle them or them.
I pull cards or do this. Energetically, so people are like feeling stirred, and things actually do come up. Yeah.
So
and
how do
I also
when you feel that, because what came in like poof was breaking boundaries. That's what the 59-6 does as well. And I just saw you do that, like breaking down those boundaries by you poking and kind of bouncing on that wall, and then suddenly this wall breaks down. Do you have like, or maybe you can share, how do you do that? What is your way? Is it like with harsh words? Is it with soft words? Is it just energetically?
Always. There's many different ways. So sometimes I can become really harsh. I also have the 6.4, so that is the line of being sweet or being mean. And especially in relationships, like really close relationships, I can actually get, I recognize that being able to get mean, but also being sweet. Yeah.
Depends.
There's a lot of ways that I can actually. I think I'm really strong communicator, and maybe not in English, but in Dutch. I don't know, I just also sense like the words that I need to use, and that's my 31st gene key coming through, and the 62, I feel like which words sometimes to use, and sometimes I can be really, how you say, paradoxal?
Yeah, paradox.
Like bring it as a paradox. I say something, and then I also hear myself speak up words, and I think, did I really say that? And that are like so different, and that I'm really like changing the energy, so you can start a conversation. So how do I do it? I don't know. There's so many different ways. So many. It's also the conversation and the words, the awareness of the words being used, and but also I think like just with the energy, and it's not really something that I do, but it's what my system does.
Right.
And I'm aware of that I'm doing it. Yeah. And sometimes I even bring it like this, like, hey, I noticed that there's some friction in between of us. Do you as well feel it? And where is that for you? And I can tell you where it is for me. I feel annoyed because this or that. I don't know, just really trying to mix and match energy with words, conversations. Can go all directions, honestly. Yeah.
You know what I love? Because I asked this question sort of specifically because you just intertwined your 59 in your Saturn, in your Mercury, and then your 6 line in your, what was it again? I lost it. Mars. Yeah, okay. Your 6 is in your Mars. So it's like this Mars energy, like the fire, and then you using the words in the Mercury with your 59 and breaking the down barriers, how that all works together. It's exactly what you do. And you said you don't know how you do it, but like you said, it's your system that does it. It is the body. You don't know the words yet, but it just comes through. Yes, and that's what human design and Gene Keys does, is when you just drop in the body and you let it do its job or its work, what it's here to do, then the consciousness observer just sits in this vessel and just observes what it does. And you just, eloquently just described it to me, how that works. So I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but it is really how it goes. Yeah, then I don't know. Just words sometimes take over, and I hear myself saying lines and text, and then I also surprise myself. Yeah.
I know that. I got that sometimes too. You go like, where did that come from? Did I think that?
Hey, that really? Okay, I did.
Let me rewind. I want to listen back to my own words, right?
Yeah. But as well, what is inside, that is so important. What is inside my body, and how I can translate that to the other. Yeah. And there's really like a sexual healer ship in this 59th gene key. Yeah. Really like sexual healing. Yeah. And I also recognize that. I recognize that in intimate relationships, that I don't know, that is also something that just comes through, feeling and sensing where blockages in that area are. And then even with body work or something, trying to like dissolve it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you do body work?
Yeah, I do. I did various trainings on that. Well, in where I work, it's a little bit like hard to combine, but I do actually like really use methods like grounding people. People are really like get confused, unstable, or like I say nervous, that I start grounding, really using the cosmic but also the earthly energies. Yeah, and that is also because I feel them. I feel it inside my body, what I like, and then in my mind I start to see and create and use the energies that are like everywhere. Yeah, so I do, but not necessarily that I touch people. I do sometimes, and not in my job, not that much sometimes, but with personal relationships, yes, that actually I do sometimes also do body work. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like when you talked about with your work, is that when people are confused, they're in this airy space, and when you ground them, you bring them back to themselves, because the body is the earth, is the vessel. And when we're way too up here, it can be confusing, you know, even with us doing this gene key human design and all these systems and trying to figure out like this big human puzzle. And when we stay up too much, we're gonna miss this part and we're gonna get confused. And yeah, I don't know why I shared that, but just came out.
And it's true as well, yeah, because sometimes I feel people that are confused, they're like so up here with their energy that they're like not connected to the earth. And I always say to the people, like, it is okay to live in your own world. I do as well. I have my dreams, yeah. So I wake up and I had a dream, and then that day will be colored because of the dream. So that is also my world, yeah. But we also have a world where we all live together, and we need to interact, and actually you need to manage yourself as well in that physical world. And we all live like in two worlds. And how are you gonna make sure that you stay alive in both? Yeah. So I try to actually help the people as well to get the energy back into that.
I'm seeing you doing that with the 59, because the 59 is the vital energy, the life force. It's like the one big channel with the most life force. So it's really grounding. So I'm seeing you doing in the 59 in your work is like bringing those people that are confused back into the bodies. And like you said, we all live in this bubble, but our bubble has like all these other bubbles, and the big bubble is you know, the earth bubble. And what I see then is when you bring them back, you get this flower of life. You know, all the bubbles are connected and intertwined, and we get back to the unity that the 59 wants us to be, like this beautiful big unity of consciousness and perspectives. And
exactly, and unity starts within yourself, like with really like landing and coming back into the body. Because from there you can start to experience the unity. and not if you're like up there. Yeah.
No, it has to also be connected. Like this has to be connected to here, and this has to be connected with there.
Yes.
And you get the wholeness, and the wholeness starts inside. And you remind me of an experience I had in with New Year. It's like I experienced this wholeness within myself, and then seeing myself, like you said, in this beautiful bubble where consciousness just showed me what wholeness means inside the bigger wholeness of the all.
Mm-hmm.
And when you sense that, it's amazing, because everything has its perfect place.
It is. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wow. Hanneke, I feel we have touched so many grounds on the 59 and the 59-6, and how it all relates into the work that you do in your personal life, and what big energy the 59 is. We had a lot of submissions as well, and it's alive for a lot of people, but it is alive because it's alive for us, right?
It is. It's all out there. It is alive for us. Yeah,
exactly. So, but we have touched a lot of ground, but if you take a breath and you feel into your 59, is there anything that comes through that hasn't been said or must be shared again, that the 59 for you wants to really give us to heart?
I really do think that that the 59 really wants me to tell you, all of you, that that to listen really deeply to your own body and to your skin and to your nervous center, like how people are entering, and that you yourself need to be the judge of where you put your boundaries and nobody else. And I think for most, that is what the 59 wants to put out there. That if you feel that there's like a kind of energy penetrating you, or things are off, then that it is your truth. That if you sense that in your body, yeah, I think that it is. It just came up like that.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for all that you shared, and your vulnerabilities, and even the private things in your life. You know, it's very courageous of you, and we are so grateful that you wanted to share it with all of us. Like I shared with you before we recorded, I feel like when we all take this courage to share our own personal stories, it will create the intimacy and the unity that we all need, because we all need each other. Nobody can do it alone. We're not meant to do it alone. And so therefore, I really wanted to thank you for doing this with me and sharing your wisdom and experiences with us.
Well, thank you as well. And I was really honored actually that you asked me to translate this gene key from out of my experience. So thank you for the guidance and the questions. It was so spot on. Thank you for tuning in on me.
En nu kunnen we weer Nederlands praten. That's a wrap!
Yes!